An office lunch thief stole my food. It was really spicy. Now they're saying I tried to poison them. You won't believe what HR has to say about it. We have a fridge at work. Up to this point, nothing I had in it was stolen. I am quite new, and others have told me that this is a problem. My food is always really, really spicy. I just love it that ways. Anyways, I was sitting at my desk when my coworker came running out, having a hard time breathing. He then ran into the bathroom and started being sick. Turns out he ate my clearly labeled lunch. It was in a cooler lunchbox to keep it cold from work to home, as it's a long drive. There was nothing different about my lunch that day. In fact, it was just the leftovers from my dinner the night before. Fast forward a day and my boss comes in asking if I tried to poison this person. Of course I denied that I've done so. I even took out my current day's lunch and let my boss taste it. He was blown away by how spicy it was, even though he only took a small bite. I then proceeded to eat several spoonfuls to prove I could eat it with no problem. He said not to worry and that it was clear to him that I did not mean any harm. My coworkers should not be eating my food. I thought the issue was over. A week later, I got called up to HR for an investigation, claiming that I did in fact try to do harm to this person, and this investigation is still ongoing. What confuses me is there was nothing said about this guy trying to steal my lunch. When I brought it up, they said something along the lines of, "We cannot prove he stole anything." I'm confused at this. I thought the proof would be clear since he ate it. My boss is on my side, but HR seems to be trying to string me up. Their behavior is quite aggressive, even if my boss backs me up. They just ignore everything he says. As in he would say, quote, "That's clearly not the case." And the HR lady wouldn't even look in his direction and just continue talking. On top of this, HR claims that it would be well within said coworker's rights to try and sue me. The way it was said seemed to suggest that they suggested this to him as a course of action. How can someone be caught stealing my lunch, then turn around and say I'm in the wrong? I don't understand it at all. I don't know what to do, and I'm afraid that I will lose my job over this. If there's any advice you can give me? Hey guys, Mr. Reddito here. I do have an update for this. As you know, I love when I can find a good update to share with you guys. So let's jump in it right now. I ended up being fired by HR, and she said there was enough of a case to get rid of me before the top boss came back. I consulted a lawyer who sent a letter to the company, informing them that I was considering legal action. The letter contained the reasons for doing so and an account of what happened. 1 week later, I got a call from the guy who owns the company, asking me to come back, with an apology. But the HR woman and the thief have been let go. He also gave me a very generous raise. I assumed to gloss everything over. I accepted and now I'm back at work. As much as I hate to go based off of office talk, it seemed that the HR woman and the food thief may have been romantically involved. They were seen a lot outside of work together, etc. So, I assumed it was just her protecting him. She may have believed him and thought I was trying to frame him or something, who knows. I doubt I'll get an answer now. Right now, I'm working in the previous position with almost double the paycheck, so it's a great turnaround. The boss also opened more doors for me, offering different training courses that I'll be paid for. It's obviously to keep me happy and stop me from taking any legal action, but what more could I ask for? Something unreasonable happened and it's been more and corrected. I'd have been happy with just having my job back. I'd rather have not gone through this whole thing at all, though. I just hope I never have to experience this kind of thing again. I don't really have a support group, so I was on edge losing my apartment, etc. Anyways, thanks for the advice. I had no one to turn to. Well, it's a good thing karma was served in this story. I was starting to think that this lunch thief was going to get away with it. OP sounded like a good person, and OP did not deserve this. I want to read a comment from the original thread. It goes along the lines of this. The amount of food stealers at workplaces is ridiculous. It's honestly sad to read. Honestly unfathomable for an adult professional who makes a living wage to do. And yet, that's who does it in all these stories. Grounds for immediate firing, in my opinion, speaks to a serious character deficit. I agree with that comment, but let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section down below. Have you ever had your lunch stolen from a lunch thief at work? I would love to hear about it. Our second story of the day is the final story. OP's ex-boyfriend divorces his wife for her. This one's interesting. I would love to know your opinions on this one too. Let's get right to it. We met in high school. I always had a thing for him, and he always had a thing for me. We were on the verge of dating when suddenly my fam and I moved across the country. Instead of dating, we stayed friends, chatting in the wee hours of the morning and that sort of thing. Over time, we developed a really strong emotional connection, and when I returned to spend the summer in my hometown with my granny, I lost my virginity to him. It was such a great summer. We were in love, and life was beautiful. But once we started college, again on different coast, we started to gradually lose touch. It wasn't anyone's fault, life just got busy. I still had feelings for him, but I thought I'd get over them eventually. It took me a long time to start dating other guys, but once I found out he has a girlfriend who then became his fiancée, and eventually his wife, I tried really hard to fall out of love with him. It didn't work. A few months ago, he DM'd me and said that he got a divorce and we started talking again. I asked him so many times why he got a divorce, but he only said that they weren't a good match. Well, the other day, she sent me a DM saying he divorced her because of me and essentially blamed me for their divorce. I asked him if it was true and he admitted it. She also asked me to leave him so that she can try to fix their relationship. I love him so much, and I can see spending the rest of my life with him. But now I feel extremely guilty dating him. I feel like I stole him from her, and I don't want to be that girl. I don't know what to do. Mr. Reddito here. Guys, this story is such a tough situation to be involved in. There's 2 updates for this story. Update 1 is short. Let's get right into it. In case anyone's interested, he finally told me why he divorced her after only 5 months, and why he married her in the first place. All I'm going to say is damn. Now I fully understand and I feel zero guilt. He's already divorced, but more likely than not, he'll also get the marriage annulled by the church since we're both Catholic. I blocked her, and knowing what I know now, I don't even feel sorry for her. Okay guys, Mr. Reddito here again. In the original post of this first update, there was many people complaining. They were saying, what kind of update was this? You left us on a cliffhanger. So, OP actually made a second update that's a little more thorough. It goes something along the lines of this. I wasn't going to post another update, but here it is. Why are so many of you so harsh? He did nothing wrong. For those that decide to respond, please make an effort to actually read my post. So many of you assume he cheated with me, physically or emotionally. That's absolutely not the case. He did not cheat on her with me or anyone else. He tried to leave her at the girlfriend stage, but she faked the pregnancy and told their families about it, so they got engaged and married super fast. Now, I know, if he did not love her, he shouldn't have married her even if she was truly pregnant. But he wanted to do the right thing, and at the time that seemed to be it. Well, soon after they got married, it became evident she wasn't actually pregnant. At that point, why in the world would he stay married to her? If anyone disrespected the situation and institution of marriage, it's her. He got in touch with me just months after the divorce. Some of you won't believe me, some of you will still think he's a piece of shit. Some of you will say we'll have no future because the only thing that our current relationship is based on is teenage romance and a summer full of steamy sex. Okay, anyways, thanks for the comments, and to those who sound so bitter after a spouse partner cheated, I'm sorry. I hope you find the strength to heal from it and eventually learn to love and trust again. High school sweetheart love. Don't you love to see it? Honestly, I'm glad OP and her ex-boyfriend are back together. The ex-boyfriend did not do anything wrong. He didn't cheat. He was just simply not happy and he wanted to be back with OP. The fake pregnancy thing is a little dramatic. Let me read a comment that I found from the original thread. Honestly, when I read they were divorcing after only 5 months, and then read he was Catholic, my first thought was she lied about being pregnant. Guys, I would love to hear your opinion on this, so if you know any stories that were very similar to this, drop your thoughts down below and I'll make sure to read every single comment. I hope you enjoyed today's videos. If you did, show some love, show some support for the channel, smash that like button, subscribe, share with your friends, do whatever you want, just get Mr. Reddito out there. Okay guys, I've said enough. Have a wonderful night and I'll see you tomorrow.